Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. So I've gotten a good start on the bot-based mall here, as you can see. I just essentially covered a grid cell with roboports. These are all set to logistics mode to increase coverage, so I easily have the whole grid square covered in the robot logistic range. And then I lined the bottom with a bunch of request depots. And so what I'm doing here, for example, I bring in stone and then I just use a couple loaders to put it into a provider chest. So that way I get it from the depots into the robot network. And then I also have these big logistic storage warehouses in those two places. In the case of iron, since I have a lot of stuff that I need to craft from iron plate, I decided just to give the robots a little bit of a break and run a couple of belts. So all the iron gear wheels, the iron beams, iron sticks, those are all being fed by a belt, and then they go into logistic chests. And in every case, I just limit the output to one stack of each so that those ingredients are all ready. And then I have kind of a basic production unit, which is just an assembly machine with a requester chest and a passive provider. Right, so I've got yellow belts, red belts, loaders. I've got inserters, steel gear wheels and steel beams, power poles, substations, let's see, train stuff over here, copper cables, logistics chests and steel chests, lights, repair packs, assembly machines, radars, depots, gun turrets, and that's as far as I've gotten with it. But with all that, I was able to tear out all the stuff that I had here previously. We're making all that stuff automatically now. The rest of this I'm going to leave here for a little while at least. Actually, I can pick this up, can't I? This isn't going anywhere. Whoops. Come on. Get out. There we go. And then I can just dump that. Pick that up. And I think I can also get rid of that. Oops. There we go. Let's replace that power pole. Okay. And then the nice thing about this is that the way that the chests are prioritized, the bots should pull from the storage warehouses before they pull from passive providers. Storage chests have a higher priority for fulfilling requests on the bot network. So that way when I pick stuff up and dump it, it goes into these chests, and then that stuff will get used before anything in the provider chest does. Which is good, because I don't want these things to fill up when I've got plenty of materials. Or I don't want to use materials that I'm getting from the factory when I've already got a bunch in storage, is what I mean to say. Okay, so I'll continue to add to this as the game goes on. I set this up, I don't know, this has been running for probably about an hour, so everything is filled up now. Some of the chests don't have any output because I already have that particular part somewhere else. So like the turrets, for example, I set the output for 50, so I've already got at least 50 gun turrets in the network somewhere. Yeah, I have 215. So and you can see I've got a ton of red ammo, 67,000. Because I switched over to uranium ammunition on the perimeter, and I converted it to bot-based. Oh, forgot to get rid of that inserter there. Okay, so each turret now has a requester chest with a request for 5 bits of uranium ammo. So as the ammo loaded in the guns runs out, it'll get replaced with the uranium ammo. But unfortunately, in picking all this stuff up, you know, every one of those depots that I had along the perimeter of the base had, you know, 800 or 1,000 pieces of ammo in it, and then there was all the ammo on the belts. So I've got a ton of red ammo, and unfortunately, the red ammo is not an ingredient for anything, at least as far as I know. Let's check. If we right-click that, yeah, it's not used for anything. So it might go to waste, but I thought what I could do is just spam some turrets out in front of the wall and load them full of that ammo, and then that way I'll at least get some use out of it. I'm not sure exactly where I get the most attacks. I know I get a lot over here. Maybe down here would be a good place to do that, because I do get a lot of attacks down here from all the biters in the south, having to all kind of get funneled by this lake into the same area. So let's build that down there. So what I'll do is I'll just put together like a blueprint. Let's see, and not quite tileable. What if I do that? Yeah, perfect. Oops. Yeah, so I'll just do something like this. Let me just control exit so I can pick it up. Okay. So let's go down to that southern wall, and we'll set up a row of turrets out in front of the wall so that those will be the first turrets to engage any attacks, and you know, they might get destroyed or whatever, but at least I'll get some use out of this ammo, and then I'll conserve energy and uranium ammo by killing a lot of biters before they even reach the wall. I think the refinery might be closest. Yeah, okay, so let's just do that here. Okay, and then I will put a requester chest and have this request the red ammo. Whoops. Let's say 200 is 200 ought to be enough. Okay, we'll go into a loader. And then jump over the wall. There. Okay, and then I'll do the same thing over to the left here, or to the right, other left. fact, I'll just copy all of that. I don't remember how far out I put it. Something like that ought to do. Oops, need to back that up another tile. All right. There we go. All right, nice. All right, so hopefully that'll use up a lot of red ammo and quickly. In fact, we can help accelerate the process by destroying some biter nests. Come and get me, I'm here. Alright, so you can see how mad they are. Here they come. Uh-oh. They haven't gotten loaded yet. Better hurry up. Awesome. See, that probably used up like 2 clips of ammo. All right. Yeah, it's going to be a long time before that gets used up. I think I need to expand my range of iron mining. In fact, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not... I would say after playing with mining drones for a while, I'm not really a big fan. How did they get out? Did they destroy the wall, or did biters destroy my wall? They're outside of the wall. I should probably just get rid of the wall. I think I might just replace these with mining drills. We do have mining drill Mark IIs, which are 50% faster than the vanilla drills. Yeah, this is silly. All right, so I'll do that next. Convert to mining drills. Okay, so I showed you the mall. The other thing that we have access to now via our research are railguns. And I crafted one. So let's take a look at the railguns. I need to make a couple rounds for it. Let me grab some explosives and steel plate. Yeah, explosives are up here. So there's two types of ammunition we have for the railguns right now. There are the railgun shells, and then there are the explosive railgun shells. I have tested once the regular railgun shell. It appears to be a single target damage dealer, which will, well, as it suggests, it will kill a single target. Very high damage. 2K to 5.6K physical damage and 1400 explosion damage, but there's no area of effect. The explosive shell has the same physical damage, but it has a lot more explosion damage, and it has an area of effect size of 4. Okay, so let's see how this performs. I haven't tried this one yet. If you look at the range, it's quite large. In fact, it goes out beyond even where the laser turrets do when placed here. And it does have a minimum range, so anything that gets up to the wall with the turret placed here would be out of range, right? You can see it right there. Okay, so let's get some friends to come over and help us try this thing out, and let's see how it does with the explosive shells. And hopefully they come here. Okay, great. Wow. That's pretty cool. Anybody else? Okay, here's a larger group. Let's see how it does. Oh, but they're going in the wrong place. Hey. Ah, bummer. Okay, well, we might have to wait for another opportunity to test that out. But I quite like this, and I think it would be nice to put maybe one of these railgun turrets in each segment and feed it a few explosive shells. So let's add that to the mall. Let's make some of those railgun turrets. These are going to need low density structures, processing units, and rare metals. Okay. So let's get some low density structures, blue circuits, and rare metals, which I can never find. There they are. All right. And I'll just do one. I wonder if I can drop it in. Yeah, there we go. Just press Z. You can drop a single item. Okay, and then I just copy that. And in this case, I'll just limit these to a single stack of each, since they won't be used terribly much. Okay, we will program this to make those turrets. Railgun turret. I just copy paste into the requester chest. And then on the output, I'll limit the production to, let's say, 10. There's not going to be a lot of these required. Okay, and then we need to make the explosive shells. And I think we ought to make them over here since I already have the explosives over here. That way I won't have to make explosives in more than one place. So we need steel, red circuits, and explosives. Steel. Okay, there's steel. There's explosives. I just need red circuits. How long do these... Well, I need to make those first, and then... Whoops. And then these. And crafting speed is 10 seconds. What are these? 15. And these are 10 seconds as well. Alright, so let's set up 2. Steel, red circuits, explosives. Okay, so let's bring in some red circuits here. Or maybe I could, yeah, you know what, let's just do this with bots. Here's what I'll do. I'll just add explosives onto the bot network. I'll just grab a filter inserter right there. Explosives, there we go. Okay. So I've already got red circuits and steel. Are you crafting yet? No, you're waiting for the metals. Here they come. Okay, so we need to make the regular shells first, and then the explosive shells. Now, since these are right next to each other, we could set something up where this just directly inserts into this chest. But then I would have to limit it with a circuit wire, so ultimately I've decided not to do anything like that. I'll just limit this to 5, let's say. Okay. And then this will add the explosives, and then this one I'll limit to 50. Okay. So we got that going. Now let's go over to the original one. And we'll just put that, this is approximately in the middle, not exactly, but close. We'll put in a request for 5 explosive railgun shells and 1 explosive railgun. Like that. And then I can dump this. Okay, and then we just copy that. Get into map mode. And we start pasting it around the base. Whoops. No, not there. Down here. In the middle. Or at least as close to the middle as we can get them. And because of the range, that'll cover most of the area in front of each of these wall sections. Down here too. Yeah, why not? Okay, looks like those gun turrets are doing the job. Right there. Right there. There's water in the way. Okay, so we'll put that one there. Yeah, we'll put that one right there. That's fine. I'm going to need power too for that inserter though. There we go. Okay, right there. And this is the beauty of having a bot network that covers your entire base. You can just build things remotely. Okay, so those are all waiting for ammo, it looks like. All right, we're slowly producing. I think this will eventually catch up. If it doesn't, then we can always double it or triple it if we think we need more output. Okay, so railguns we got. All right, so let's work on some mining drills. Now, before I get into let's set up the mining drills first, and then I'll get into the other thing that I wanted to talk about. All right, so yeah, we're going to need mining drills 1, and we're going to need mining drills 2. Okay, so again, the mining drills 1 are just an ingredient, so I'm going to have a very limited stack size. And the mining drills 2 are going to be used in large quantities. So that one will limit to, let's say, 100. Because I see that we're eventually going to have a mining drill 3. Great. And thankfully that takes mining drill 2s as an ingredient, so that's good. Okay, and since we are switching to mining drills, we might as well go for the productivity research. Let's research the advanced fuel. I don't want to do military 5 yet. I just got to, just when I get things set up, I got to do more. All right, well, let's just start researching everything there. And what I want to start to work towards next is getting a rocket set up so we can launch a rocket. I've already got the research done. Okay, so we can make the rocket silo. What I'm not sure about, let's see. Okay, so after we do rockets, We can do Singularity Labs. And we can do quantum computers. We can do AI cores, and those are needed to unlock the last two tech cards. So we got the optimization tech card, which gives us a satellite. Okay, so we launch the satellite, and then we get 100 or 1,000 space research data. They look like disk drives. Okay, so this optimization tech card is kind of like, looks like the equivalent of a space science pack. And then there's the matter tech card. Okay, and those we can make with terrestrial ingredients: plastic, lithium, immersite crystal, and rare metals. Oh, wait a minute. I saw another research card. Aha, and then we have advanced tech cards. Those also need immersite. And then there's singularity tech cards. Okay, so there's still a lot of science to do after we launch a rocket. That seems clear. And we probably don't actually need to launch the rocket until we can make the satellites. So what do we need for the satellite? Otherwise we'll be launching a rocket and not really getting anything out of it. Okay, so I want to work up to this, to the optimization tech cards, get that researched before we start to launch a rocket so that we can make a satellite and send the satellite up with the rockets. Okay, now the other thing I was going to mention, someone pointed this out to me. Let's go over to the power plant. The power plant doesn't work exactly as I thought it did. I'm talking about the fusion reactor. Okay, now I've since modified this a little bit, so I have the steam going into a tank, and then I'm pumping it into, I've got 5 turbines now. Now, the reason I have 5 turbines, where did I see the tooltip? Okay, so if you look at the tooltip for the reactor, it says to work it requires 500 megawatts of energy, DT fuel cell and water. So my assumption was that it was taking 500 megawatts out of this 100 gigajoule fuel cell, which I guess doesn't make sense, because if that was the case, it would say how many joules of energy it needs, not how many watts, right? Since watts is joules over time. So actually what happens is when the fusion reactor makes steam, it consumes 500 megawatts of electricity from the electrical network. Okay, so the issue that I was having is that I only had 3 turbines to begin with. So when this thing kicked in, it was consuming all 300 megawatts, plus it was consuming charge from the accumulators, because that's the only way it could get more current. And so every time this thing made steam, my accumulator charge would drop, because I wasn't able to produce 500 megawatts from the power plant itself. So what I did is I added a couple more turbines, because really what I need to do, I need to be able to produce the amount of power that the rest of the base needs, which in this case is about 160 megawatts right now and always increasing, right? I need to be able to produce that plus 500 megawatts in order to prevent my base from browning out. Now, the accumulators, of which I have 338, those can deliver 600 kilowatts each, which is 0.6 megajoules, or 0.6 megawatts. So if I do 0.6 times 338, that's 202.8. So all my accumulators can deliver 202 megawatts by themselves. Okay, so that means that I need another 300 megawatts on top of that, plus the 170, let's call it 200 megawatts that I need to run the base. Now, I don't mind if I use accumulator charge, because that way I can use less of this expensive nuclear fuel. I can drain some charge from the accumulators and then build it back up. That I don't mind. But what I want to prevent, the rest of the base from getting low on power. Okay, so with 5 turbines, I can make 500 megawatts, and then I have another 200 megawatts I can get from the accumulators. And for now, that's enough to satisfy the 500 watts that this thing pulls, plus the 160 megawatts that I'm using. Okay, so again, I'm still going to depend on the accumulators to supply me in those peak moments, so that I use less steam in the turbines and therefore consume the fuel cells at a slower rate. Speaking of that, let's check my consumption rate on those fuel cells and see how we're doing versus our predictions. Okay, so I'm using 1.3 per minute. And my plan was for 1.8. Okay, so that's good. So far I'm still consuming fewer fuel cells than I planned to produce. And actually, I think I can actually produce a little bit more than 1.8 since I'm not utilizing any of these machines at 100% yet. The lithium production would eventually become a bottleneck. And at some point I'll have to redesign this. I'll probably just build something over here to make this stuff at a higher rate of speed as I add more and more turbines. I actually have 3 other turbines that I'm not using right now. I crafted them already, so I'll just put them there right now so I don't have to carry them in my inventory. And when I need to add more power, I'll put those in there. But once I get to that point, I'm going to need to increase my production of the fuel cells. Okay, and we still got a little time left, so let's go ahead and convert our iron mine over to drills. I'm going to bring some construction bots with me. I've got repair packs. That way they can repair turrets and walls. Do I have roboports? I don't see any. No, I don't. Okay, let me request a stack of roboports. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm making roboports. Down here. Yeah, okay, good. Alright, and let's see how many of these mining drills I've got. 72. Alright. to iron 1. And I'm gonna start picking up all these drones. Looks like a lot of them have perished. And I need to empty this stuff out. Okay, so that's empty. I think I'll still be left with a lot of it. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Let's make a warehouse. And I'll use a warehouse instead of a lane balancer. Okay, they're all empty. All right, and let's clean up all these turrets. Might as well clean up most of this wall as well. We'll have to redo a lot of that. And I'll pick up these spent pollution filters while I'm at it. And we'll add some more there. Okay. Mark II. Here we go. All right, max rate calculator doesn't tell me what these can make. All right, mining speed is 0.75 per second. And I have a 30% productivity bonus, so 0.75 times 1.3 is 0.975. So we're close to 1 per second. So on a red belt, we can have 15 per side. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. 14, 15. Okay, so that's 1 red belt worth of iron ore. And let's get 4 like that. Okay, then we need more mining drills, and I'm going to need a lot more red belt. Why does that keep getting destroyed? I wonder if maybe my signaling system is not working very well. It's probably the train running through the doors. I'll just remove that. I had to set these up so that they wouldn't open automatically because the bots, I didn't want the bots to escape. That's part of the reason why I want to get rid of the bots. They're just, I think they're more trouble than they're worth. At the beginning, they're pretty nice, but yeah. I need more red belts. 400? Yeah, let's do 400. Okay. Okay, and then when I said that I'll use the warehouse as a balancer, that's the nice thing about using a warehouse like this. You can run all your belts into it, and then run belts out of it, and the output belts will all be balanced. You don't have to worry about making belt balancers. Okay. I don't know how fast these can pick up. I'm pretty sure that one of these stack inserters can, or that one row of these stack inserters will consume an entire red belt. Probably doesn't even need all 6 of them. So this will be a bit of overkill, I think. Yeah, it looks like 4 is enough. So I'll just take out those middle 2. There. All right, now let's put some turrets around. I think I heard a worm. Worm sign. There it is. Get rid of that so I don't get surprised later. Okay. We can remove that signal, I think. And we can remove this one too. All right, do I have any visibility down here? I do not. Let us place a radar. I was going to use a sentinel, but I'll just make a radar. I can make these advanced radar now too. They consume twice as much power. I'll just use a regular one. Okay. Nice. Okay. Well, I think that is going to do it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.